Welcome to the Black Lion Podcast. We are your hosts, Lex and Dom. And today we have a special guest. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Frankie White, also known as Eastern. That's my government name. And I am a model / stylist and image consultant. And I've been doing modeling for 17 years, and I've been styling for 10 years and image consulting for about 4 or 5 years now. Yep. I have a company called I on You LLC, which is EY3 on You LLC. I need to turn that off. And I have a graphic design line, custom clothing line called So Solid, #SoSolid. So I am a busy girl just trying to really dive into my niche, which is styling and image. That's what I've been doing for so long. It's kind of like breathing and doing natural movements. I just do it at ease. So it's what I love.
What made you get into that natural movement?
Well, I've always loved fashion. Even as a kid, I used to get all the books, even wedding books, just to look at the clothes and the fashion, not necessarily the story. I've always been a big TV, movie, enthusiast, like excited to watch different dynamics of the photography or how they put it all together. So I'm all about like the background. Deeply I am, but it started superficial, like, oh, I really love this and I really admire what people have to put into this. It's a true craft to be so creative, to create people's clothing and create people's image and create people's style and redefine their like who they are, who they present themselves to the world as, right? So I was really interested in how much I can put into that. So at first, I just kind of moved through my natural talents, which when I was younger, I was involved in a lot of singing and choirs and stuff. But I was in this, group, and I was advised to do some modeling at the time, and it really wasn't on my foresight. It wasn't something I thought I wanted to do. I really didn't look at myself as a model at the time. I was like, nah. But then eventually, I did say, okay, I'm gonna do it. I did a photo shoot. It was really good. And then it just kind of went on from there. And I did modeling throughout other things as well, because I was, living life. And so I modeled not as professional as I wanted to, like initially, but I did continue on with it so much that it kept pulling me to that instead of what I was doing, which I was in X-ray. I was in hospital administration before that. So I was in this medical field, and I was, I have a secure future in the medical field. As long as they have hospitals and doctor's offices, you got a job, you know what I'm saying? But it just was not for me. Like I felt so just there, empty, not really engaged. I wasn't feeling like myself, It wasn't until I started to push myself to do more of the things that spoke to what I liked. I was in school for mass communication. So I was always writing since I was in middle school, writing for the newspaper, writing for the yearbook. I've always been involved in something like that, radio. So clearly I wanted to do journalism, right? So I wanted to incorporate that. So I started a show. I've started many shows, which been all about the same thing. I want to continue on with like a brand. I'm a brand consultant, so I know that your brand has to be consistent. And my brand is to empower women through their authenticity and empower others through their authenticity, because I'm a woman. So clearly I'm going to empower women, duh. But if I speak to men honestly and openly about myself as a woman and what I, believe we can come together as together, because it's about that too when it comes to them, then I want to speak to them as well, so my show is about that. It's about being authentic. It's about being honest. It's about coming to some realizations of some hard truths and just being honest with who we are and what we are to each other, and love. So kind of enveloped in that. And so I incorporated that. And then I have the styling. So I kept up with that and build my company, IONU LLC, which is for styling and image brand consulting. And that's just truly bringing out the same thing that I have in my own brand, authenticity, as well as like I'm truly being who I am. I'm flowing how I want to flow. Nobody's demanding me. I'm not puppeted. And I used to be like that. I had an agent, I've had managers, I've had people trying to tell me what to do, consultants as well. I'm not even like those consultants. I don't want to control your narrative. I just want to help you guide your way towards understanding who you really are and showing the world that person, not being what everybody else is, not being a copycat of the brand next to you. I want you to elevate past that brand. You're not that brand. You're your brand. You're better than whatever brand you outside yourself. The only brand that you should see is tunnel vision. Like it should be like this. It should just be you and that brand. You know what I'm saying? And you can take inspiration by seeing what's around you and knowing what your competition is doing and what they got to offer as well. But you still focused on what you got going on because that's all you can do. You can't do what they're doing, but you can be like, you know what? Take notes. Let me learn what I can do in that capacity and let me make it my shit. Let me make it my brand. Can I say that word? Can I say shit? Okay. I don't shy away from the honesty of the fact that I do use language that is people don't really deem appropriate, but I'm not about that. And my brand is to be like true to yourself, not opinionated or under some trend or somebody else's like idea of who you are. Have so many people tell me what I should look like, oh, you should do brown hair, you should do black hair, you should do like your blonde hair, go back to your curly hair, where's your braids? I'm like, when I want to do it, that's when I do it. Period. Okay. I don't really feel better doing it looking like you anyway. That doesn't make me feel good about myself. So I want to show that to other people. Like you can't fold on your brand because somebody comes and say, here's $25 more than the $25 you made last week. Change yourself. Because then when you go back to yourself, people will be like, who are you? You ready to flip. You're not consistent. Like they don't want to see that. They want to be true to authentic people, like want to be with other authentic people. So that's really all I enveloped it into.
That's good. What feedback have you had from people you or your clients that you have had? What was the feedback you received back?
Well, for the most part, I make it very certain when a client has introduced themselves to wanting to work with me because it's a joint venture. I can't work with them unless they work with me. So if we decide to work together, then most of the time the feedback is they were thankful that I saw them for who they really are, because the point of my whole company is to see the true authenticity of you, not about me. I style myself, I wear what I want to wear, I do my own hair. I'm me. I'm proud of that. That's what I want to bring out of someone else. So when I do work with someone, they feel truly like I'm looking into them. I'm not looking into myself and developing them through what I believe should be who they are. I find out who they are. I can understand what they need from me and what services I can provide for them. And then I apply that to their overall goal. And once they achieve that, they normally, and from like the consensus, I've never had a person say, I don't really like what you did. Like if that was the case, then it would be because they didn't tell me what they wanted. And because I don't make up my mind by being like, you know what, I think this is who you are. Like we go through brainstorming and everything together, me and my clients, to figure out what it is they are looking to gain out of this work relationship. And they are a client, but they're also working for their brand. This is for you. This is going to be, I may do one campaign for you, but this campaign may make you millions of dollars. So there you go. You know, that's what I'm supposed to do. I implement a development, you perform it, and we got to work together to get that done. So normally, since I work with the person in that capacity, they're never really feeling like I'm overbearing or I'm taking control of their life or making their image, you know, redefined through my own self. that's not where I'm coming from. So it kind of felt that, and the best positive response that I've gotten is that they feel that too.
That's good.
I'm waiting on if somebody give me some negative feedback though, I take it. Like for real, let's as honest as I am about wanting you to be true to yourself, I know I have to be honest with myself. If somebody was like, you know what, I'm not feeling that, even if in the process they're not feeling it, we will redirect towards whatever you can feel, because I've worked with clients who were not like, okay, maybe she didn't understand what I meant. So then they'll tell me and I'll ask them, just let's redefine it again. We redefine it and bam, they get their result. The point is the goal. I'm like,
Yeah.
listen, it's that field goal at the end. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to make these points add up, you know? We can get a lot of yardage. We can get a lot of, we can do a lot of runs, but are we about to make these points? Because runs don't win games. Points do. I'm just
That's right.
I don't care how many plays we run through this mug. Are we making the points? I'm just saying. So that's what my clients get from me.
What are 3 priorities you have for your businesses?
Consistency. I want to be consistent in what I say, how I perform, how I engage, how I serve. I ask God for that constantly. Like, God, just make sure I do what I'm supposed to do in the right way, not by my own understanding, not by my own way, but that's truly beneficial and serve someone a purpose, because my purpose is to do these things. So I'm trying to serve the purpose in myself, but also want to serve whatever purpose I'm meant to serve for them, intentionally, not like recklessly or destructively, because people can come and sound really good. I've seen it. Like, oh, I can do this, I can do that, and destruct everything you've already done. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it. It's happened to me, and I've seen it happen to others. Like, they'll have something built. Somebody will tell them that they can make it better. They'll go to that person to get better. That person will take everything that they built and leave them with nothing.
I've seen
That's
it too.
never what man, you've been like, I can't believe, but it happens so much. So if you know yourself and you're consistent with that, and you're constantly doing what is right and not like what you want to do, you can do what you want to do, but as long as it's right what you want to do, you know what I'm saying? You can do it. It's just, for me, I want that to be across the board. I want you to see and believe what you see, meaning I'm gonna do what I say and say what I do, you know. Those 2 things. So that's what I want. That's priority. Authenticity. I have friends who constantly tell me this, and I love that. And I don't know if people like to hear this, but they're like, girl, one thing is, I know you. Like, you've changed, you've grown, you've become this woman and that woman, you've moved to this level and that level, but you've been yourself. Damn right. All day. Like, I'm not changing for nobody. Like, I don't care what kind of money amount you got for me. You want me to be who? I can't. I'm sorry. I don't comprehend. I don't understand that language. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. So I don't push that on nobody. I don't make anybody be anything that they don't want to be. I don't put anything on someone that they don't feel comfortable in. I need you to feel comfortable in yourself. So I need authenticity. And when you are your true self, you are comfortable AF, you just like, you're in your vibe, and things don't come to you and tear you down. Even the things that come to tear you down don't tear you down, because you're living your truth. You're authentic. You're like, that's not me. That's not me. It don't even look like me. That's not even, I can't tell who that is. That's not me, because you know who you are. You're authentic. And lastly is, that's a top priority. Integrity. Integrity is a lot. You know what I'm saying? Integrity is how you treat others. It's how you treat yourself. It's how you treat situations that don't favor you. It's just really how you respect humanity. And since I can't say respectability, humanity, and all those other words, integrity is like a huge part of what we can do for each other without hurting each other or hurting ourselves, and literally benefit. But we don't, So Eye on You is about integrity. It's about, if I can't give you something, I'm not going to promise it to you. if it's something that I can do for you, I want to do it at the best of my capability so that you can see it succeed and win. And I don't want to fail. Consider trusting in me, because when you come to me and you give me your money for a service, you're trusting in me to provide that service. And if I told you I'm going to do it, I better do it. And I better do it the way you feel comfortable and safe. And that's what should happen. Like, so that's what I do. So that's what integrity kind of is very important. So definitely, we started with, I know I know I said authenticity. I know I said integrity. And what was the first one I said? Blame that on too much stuff on my mind. God, this is horrible. I know, like literally, I feel it in my heart. It's on the tip of my tongue. What did I say? It ain't just it's the dye. It goes into my pores, and then it made me blind because clearly I'll remember it in like the next 5 minutes. It's the weirdest thing. It happens though, but that's who I am. Oh, I lost it again. Dang. Okay. We'll rewind that and get that when they do that.
That's fine.
I'll remember it in just a second. But no, seriously, I want people to oh fudge. I know exactly what it is, because like it's like all these other words are spinning because I said them all in the middle of that. But I know that I want to stay with reality in my business. I don't want to tell somebody, yeah, you can do that. Excuse me, but they don't have the willpower or or it's just not
Get up
something
and
that
go.
it's just like you could all do, but everything one don't fit, one doesn't have your passion engaged in it. So when you're like inauthentic, you're just doing something. It could easily be done. You want to probably get that task done. You want to make the money. You want to suffice the need, whatever. But then you could also eventually stop caring about it as much and not giving as much effort and not putting as much energy into it. And then you just be like, forget about it. I ain't doing that today for days and days and days and days. And then it's no more interesting than it was in the beginning. You know, you just did it to do it for some reason. When you're authentic, you're going to make sure that you are connected to it. You want to do it. You're happy about doing it. You like doing it. You want to be there to do it. You're excited about going to do it. You thought about doing it yesterday. You're going to go do it. You're not going to be like, forget about it. And if you don't do it, you're going to have the compassion with yourself to be like, it's my passion. I'm going to continue on with it. I'm never going to give up on it. I may not take care of it every single second of the day, but I'm going to keep up with it. I'm going to stay consistent. Consistency, authenticity, yes. I knew it. And integrity. I told you it's gonna come to me in 5 minutes. Y'all, you got to keep that whole thing just so they can see just how real it happened in real time. No, for real though. But that's why you have to say. You see how I know what it is. I just couldn't remember the dang word. Yeah, consistency. Those are the three.
Yeah, that's true. When you started your own businesses, was your family and friends supportive of you?
My family, let's say, nobody was not supportive of me. There wasn't a situation where I felt like nobody believed in me type of thing, but it wasn't so much support as far as like I thought I would have, you know? Like I've had all these people telling me that they see what they see in me, but when it came to showing up, like sharing something or because it can be simple as that. Support ain't gotta be you go pay for anything for me. Like I'm not asking for anybody to pay my way in life. your support could pave my way in life because somebody could hear about it and then that person could think it to be interesting and then they could engage in it. So it would be nice if more people, but the core support system that I needed to feel, I guess, because you need that. People need to be realistic about that. Like you need at least somebody to be like, go girl, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? You don't need everybody to be cheering you on. Honestly, it really just takes somebody believing in you. For me, those three people were my kids. Like I don't care what I've done. Like my kids treat what I do like it's like I've already whatever I didn't make it to in my mind, they already made me there. Like she already there. So I'm a supermodel. I'm a major brand consultant. Like all of that in their mind. Like my mom is, and they want to see me succeed. They're always telling me how proud they are of me. They're not like older, like all of them. So they're not, experienced enough to know what to tell me to be motivated to be. But they feel it in themselves to know that I'm really out here doing what I'm supposed to do for them and for myself because I'm being honest. I'm with myself, honest with my kids, like my kids see the honesty in me that sometimes I don't even show myself because with them, I'm vulnerable as fuck. Like I can't control any of it. And I'm like, yeah, you get all of the energy. Like but they're just good space. Good space. I'm not going negative with that because it's not negative at all. But the positive is I'd had that core support. And whenever I even started redeveloping my modeling brand, I would use them as my marketing research team. Like, what do y'all think about this? Because they're young, so they in the know of trends and stuff like that. But they're also the people that I don't want to offend in my business. Like, my brand is to empower people, not disempower my children. Like, I want them to still be like, okay, she may have her hip out, but she ain't showing her. She's not, she's not showing her. It's not happening. Excuse me, y'all, my language. But my kids know that it's respectable, so they are the people that I get approval from. I don't need other people's approval. I get approval from my clients. Clearly, I do surveys and stuff. But I mean, for as far as my own personal brand, not my company's brand, I'm authentically being artistically who I want to be creatively, and my children were the support that I needed to believe in that, not to feel shamed of it or to criticize myself in it or let others criticize or judge it. Just really move and figure out where I fit, and they allowed me to do that, which was pretty cool. The other support comes along the way. Don't get discouraged if anybody is listening to understand. Don't let anybody not supporting you, because in the end, honestly, my biggest support was that I trusted in God, like 100%. I prayed every way, every day, fasted, sacrificed, this whole lot of stuff just to really understand my purpose here and to serve my purpose effectively. So yeah, I believe that my biggest support was just believing in God and believing in myself and trusting in that movement, because some of the stuff was just coming to me and I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure that's what you really want me to be doing? And it would be like, yeah, I'm pretty positive, because you think about it, you're going to dream about it. It's going to be what you eat, breathe, and sleep. You're never going to think about anything else. Either this movement you want to make, this point you want to make, this opportunity you want to savor, you're going to get that if you really, really want it. And I really, really wanted it, I guess.
And my next question to you, for anybody that wanted to start a business, what advice would you give them?
Trust yourself. Trust, even if like you get it wrong. A lot of people take failure so hard, rejection. How many times I've been told no, and at first, I've been told no a long time ago, like long time ago, like even in high school when I would have written a story that I just thought this story was the bomb. And then my editor would just chop it up. And that would be a whole bunch of no's, like, nope. I was like, dang, no point in taking great. Okay, rewrite. It just became natural to realize that there's gonna be a yes. If you don't do anything because you think it's a quick way to make you something, because your effort is going to die down real fast when you don't make nothing. Like, you're not gonna see it through. Most businesses take 3 to 5 years to see anything from what they put into your day one. I'm still waiting to see a lot of however, I digress. But you really should be just resilient and diligent in what you want. Have true connection to what you're doing. Be authentic, meaning like it has to be connected to who you are. Don't be out here doing anything that just sounds good. Do what you feel good about. Like, that serves like no other. And trust me, you get back in return what you give out, especially if you've given out something that you really want to do. And so do something that you really have a passion for, you love doing, and you can't see yourself living without, because you only got this one life. So live it the way you want to. And just no matter who says what, if you fall, get back up, rewrite, rescript, and change the narrative. Be open to that, though. A lot of people get into business hoping that it's going to succeed. It don't succeed. They close their line off. They don't see the goal anymore. There's a story I heard, read, I can't remember. Maybe it was in a devotion or something like that. I just know the story sounds like the best thing that I can say for anybody who's in a business. There is this boat, and you want to go across this river in this boat, but there's this forest in between, right? So you see the boat, and you're like, I'm gonna get to that boat. Now, if you are somebody who's connected, passionate, this is the thing, I'm about to go across this river when in this boat, and that's what I'm doing. Your goal is to get in that boat and go across that river. So I don't care if you walk across a snake pit, it's 1,000 trees broken down, it's a ditch, a roller coaster in the middle, you got to go spin around 3 times. You're gonna get to that boat. If you are like, all right, there's a forest, okay, there's a boat, and I want to walk through the forest and get to the boat, right? You're gonna get through the forest, you're gonna see the snake pit. You might climb over it, but then you're gonna get to like the ditch, and the ditch is gonna be deep. You gotta like jump, and you're like, I'm not risking it. I'm gonna go back. Because you ain't got no passion in getting to the boat. You ain't see the bigger picture. You saw what's in the way, you saw what's in the middle, you saw the middle, da da da. When you have a goal that you want, that you're happy, passionate, fulfilled, love, excited, engaged in, everything that comes in between that will never matter. What's gonna matter is that goal. So that's what I think about business. And if you get into business, that's where your mind should be.
How do you know when it's a good fit to work with someone?
Oh, well, I definitely do a consultation. I do a 15-minute consultation, but that's more to see what you want, and if I feel like I can give that to you, because realistically it's about both ways. Um, then I have to make sure that your mindset is ready to do what you're coming to me to get. For the most part, I'm not trying to coerce or bend somebody's arm or force anybody to do what they need to do for themselves to make that change or transition. Because if you come to me for my services, they're to change, elevate, and evolve what you got going on, period. Like, I'm a style coach, I'm an image consultant, which means whatever you've already got going on, we're about to change, elevate, and evolve that, period. So your mindset has to be open to that. If you are afraid of your shadow, afraid of the mirror, and afraid of yourself, that's going to be a very difficult task for me to succeed in what I need to get you to where you're trying to go, which is your true authentic potential, not mine. Like when you have kids, I realized I had no right to their stories, but to guide them, to help them figure out their narrative, right? So then I realized that I don't really, it's not going to be on me to make you want better for yourself. It's me to show you what wanting better looks like, and you to decide whether that makes sense for you, right? So I'm doing that, and my kids want that, so that's where they're guided to go. I'm not forcing them, coercing them, or bending their arms to get them to do what they need to do for their better self. I'm showing them what it feels like to be better in yourself, and then they want to be better in themselves. Same thing I'm gonna need from my clients. I'm gonna want you to know that you want better in yourself, and you're coming to me to help you find that, not to be that for you, not to tell you how to be that, but to help you figure out how to become that. So it has to fit in that way. And if it does, then we on the road. I mean, like, pew, we out this bitch. But we are, and that's just the truth. I'm ready to go at this point. Funny story is I saw, and this only come up because somebody just recently showed me something, but Russell Simmons came to speak when I went to Tennessee State, right? And he was up there. I mean, vulgarity, like, you would not believe. Dude had nothing but curse words in his sentences. And he was like, this is how I talk. He was like, I'm going to give you the real. I'm really going to help you understand what you need to, get what you want out of this life. But that's just how I'm going to say it. I just want y'all to understand this is how I talk. Like, this is how he started it. Like, I just want y'all to know this is my language. I don't mean no harm. It just I realize I'm kind of like a, understudy of him at this point. See, I'm ready. Look, I'm already starting myself the revolution. I'm the future Russell Simmons. Get ready. For image, of course.
What are your prices for the clients? Like, how you do your prices with consultation?
Well, the consultation is free. And if you decide that you want to work with me, depending on what services you need, because I offer so many services. So I'm a style coach, so I offer personal and professional styling. That means I will personal shop for you, or I will personally style you, professionally style you for brand or images. If you have a media need, you need media content, I'll style you for that. Creative direct, art direct. So those are my coaching services. And then I have my consulting services, which is image consulting, brand development, style profile consulting, which is where I like show you a range of options of clothing for you to decide for yourself to style how you want. Then there's, the image and brand consulting is basically helping you redefine your image and elevate your brand. So the prices range in different, like, you can get a style profile development that's like, anybody could afford that. Honestly, it's not a high price service. I don't really want to, when people hear your service prices, they try to run. Honestly, everybody's different. I have so many packages. You can integrate packages together. You can get styling with creative directing and brand development. You could get just a styling profile, which is like $100, or if that's 1 to 3 outfits. But if you want like 5 to 10 outfits, of course the prices go up in different needs and different services. But I do have them at different levels, medium or low, medium, and high tier. So there's flexibility, and it's really affordable for anybody because style profile development can really help you redefine your style. And that's something that literally you can just get a few style profiles, understand what looks better on you casually, what looks better on you professionally, what looks better on you for date night or brunch or whatever, casual day. And then go with those styles and mimic and redefine it. So, but that's just the consulting services. So they range.
What are 3 goals you have for this year?
3 goals I have for this year. One, to branch out to more industries and develop them. So far, I've done small businesses and personal redevelopment, artistic and creatives as well. But I want to do larger businesses, help brand or image consult or redefine their brand through media and digital footprint. So I want to do that. I want to expand my digital footprint, which means I want to reach more people internationally. I don't always have to work with someone right next door to me. I can do virtual, my services can be done virtually as well as in person. So I want to branch out to other places. I've worked with people in LA so far, a few people in New York, and a lot of it people in Atlanta, but I want to work with people in all places. I'm from the Midwest. I'm from South Bend, Indiana. So I want to work with people in Chi, Michigan, like all types of places. Vegas, Florida, wherever you are, I want to be styling you, making your image look real good and pretty and pristine, you know. So I want to do that. And lastly, I really want to make sure that Eye on You is seen for its truth, which is to achieve authenticity and put true potential in each and every client. I really want people to see themselves for who they are and see their highest potential and look in the mirror and get that, you know, and want that and take that because it's theirs. And a lot of us just don't know what steps to take first. And sometimes it's just a little guidance, which is all consulting and coaching is guidance to gain whatever goal you're trying to attain for yourself, for your own needs. So I want people to really feel that and know when they work with me that that's what they're going to get in return.
Your children, have they expressed to work with you in your business?
Yes, actually, my oldest, she is in college, and she's just her first year, but she's in there for marketing analytics. So that's really connective in what I do. It would be very beneficial for her to work with me, and we've discussed that many times. So once, of course, she's gotten a couple more courses, we can definitely think about internships and whatnot for her. Um, my youngest, she wants to be a model. She wants to be a model so bad. My son, I think his whole so my son is in the middle. He wants to do a lot of developing businesses and he's very good with building structures. So I have no idea. He goes in many different directions. One day he wants to be a surgeon. Next day he's thinking about architecture. He's just everywhere. He's a boy right now. So his mind is just like squirrel. Like, so one day, whenever he tells me what he wants to do, I'll support it. But my girls have definitely based the interest in either the direction of what I do some way, somehow, or definitely what I do, which is my youngest. Her goal is to be like me.
And I know you what mental health process you went through when
The
like
mental health process.
hmm when you started like from beginning to end, what progress have you seen?
You mean in my
From
mental health?
yeah, like meaning the process from when the the progress you seen through your mental health from starting your business up until now.
Oh, well, my mental health has become more sustainable. At first, I was very stressed out because I was worried about doing so much. Like I said, I had a business consultant and not, these people poured into me great things, not taking away from that. It's just how they wanted me to mold myself in those things. And it had me stressed out. It was actually diminished at that time because I was like, I wasn't negated from my goal. I just was definitely a little turned off, especially when some things just like someone takes your stuff and then you've already built it and then they and then you got a scramble of nothing. So that's kind of where I kept feeling in some of those spaces. And so at first it was heavy, stressful. Eventually though, once I started to focus on why I started my business in the first place, basically listening to what I'm telling other people. Because the funniest part is about business is it's hard to take your own advice. You give it all day. You see people succeed with it often, and you're like, dang, I should really take that. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do that because that kind of makes sense. It's what works for them, so I want it to work for me. And so once I started to be like passionate with myself and knowing that I wanted my business to succeed, I do have a bigger picture. There's nothing bigger than that picture. And it started to become more in my own journey, personal journey. I needed to heal myself mentally through some things. So, kind of cohesive with where I was going in the first place, it blended well for me to see how much more important this goal became to me because I was healing through, excuse me, I was healing through a lot of stuff in myself. And that was making me see just how much passion and how much connection I was to my business. I was truly authentically being myself in everything I did with my business. And I was able to take off so many layers in my personal life and open my eyes to seeing what was really in front of me, which was my truth. And connecting with that, it calmed my nerves. Like it was like, girl, don't stress about that. Do what you need to do, one thing at a time, which is understandably honest. Like, yeah, you can do multiple tasks, but you can only do one thing at a time. So do a set amount of understanding for yourself, like you would schedule your clients to do for themselves. Give them a space and time to get it done and get that job done. Do the same thing for yourself. Be compassionate if you don't get it done with yourself, to be like, okay, now it's on my to-do list for the next day until you mark it off, uh, keep focused on the bigger picture. So that has opened me to just being really in a space of just getting things done. And I get things done better now because I'm not stressed out about how it looks. I'm like, please, I can't do this to myself. I really want to show people who I am. I can't do it being all spaz and stressed out about how it looks if I'm being honest with myself. That's not authentic. Authenticity is, this is how it looks. Hello. And being real about that, and but being connected, because people really know that in their mind. They know the same thing. This is how it really looks, not how I portray it to be, not how I pretend it to be, not how I put on this masquerade or this mask of myself and show people that it is, this is who I really am. Sometimes it's going to look like this, sometimes it's going to look like that. It's being real about that. So it took me to like get in the space of being that with my personal space, that now in my business space, I'm tranquil in that space too. I'm consistent.
That's good. Where do you see your business at in the next 5 years?
Well, I definitely see us being top tier, working with a lot of post production, background production, engagement. So I hope to do a lot more TV shows, dressing, styling, stage directing, stuff like that. That would be great. That's actually optimal. So it's a possibility to happen, and I'm thankful for that. As well as working with high end clients and any client that's really open to redefining their image, elevating their style, and expanding their brand. Like growing and elevating is constant. It's something that we need to do. It's not something we need to be afraid of. And it can actually be very graceful if we embrace it and its truth and it's like reality. So I feel like a lot of people are connecting with that. So I'm in a perfect space for this time because people are really looking in the mirror and saying, this is who I am. Okay, that's cool. And so now they're like, well, what do I do in the skin? Because for so long, so many people have not been able to do that. So now I'm in the perfect opportunity to help everyone gain that true look in the mirror and be like, I see me, everybody else see me, and ain't nothing else confusing about that. It's consistent, it's authentic, and it's got integrity. Boom, okay. Look, I want to connect stuff together. I don't want people thinking this ain't no script, this is real.
Can you tell the audience where they can find you at and contact you at on social media?
Yes, so you can find me at Frank_E_White, and that's on my Instagram, TikTok, and my Twitter, and then my Facebook also. And you can also find me at IONULLC, and that's EY3ONYOULLC, and that's on my Facebook and Instagram, as well as my TikTok as well. And then I have a YouTube channel, the Frankie White channel, just Frankie White channel. And my website, where you can look and see my services that I offer, as well as who I am, what I do, what we do for others. It's at www.ey3onYOU.net. So that's my website. And you can find my merchandise at #SoSolid, which is #ShopSoSolid on my website, as well, on the www.ionu.net. That's where you can find me. Come see me though, because I'm waiting for you, okay? I'm ready all day.
Well, thank you for having this interview with me. It's been a pleasure.
So much. It's been a great pleasure as well. Bye, everybody.